Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Tougies Take podcast. We are back again. Did you miss us? We still miss Sin. It should be, Mr. Endo Mills, our final show without our third musketeer, who's returning to Finland around the time that this show will be posted. But we have to hold down the fort today and talk about like two things that happened between the deadline and now. But hi. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad to be here as always. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, how was your week?
It's been weird, right? Because I came home a week ago, roughly. You know, it's like, oh, a week ago, like as of the time of recording this, it's like I was in an airplane over the Atlantic, or was still dealing with the busiest goddamn airport I think I've ever seen, based on the size of the airport and the amount of people there. Shout out to the airport in fucking Reykjavik. I still don't understand that. This place was a madhouse. But again, we'll have a lot of fun stories perhaps later on this week once Sin's back. But I'm doing okay at this point. I think I'm acclimated to being back home, back into the daily streaming side of things. But yeah, the heart still wants what the heart wants in terms of being back over in Finland sooner rather than later. How about you? How are you doing? That was one of our first questions today. It was from Ender. I don't have a question, but hoping y'all are having a good day. Are you having a good day, Endo Mills?
No. My chair's broken. I need to put this like weighted blanket on top of it so I don't like cut my leg open because the fabric on it is really, really cheap. I had like today on stream, I have if people don't know where I stream, twitch.tv/Endo Mills, and I was streaming today and I had Strive, Nasher's editor, come in and say like, "Wait, why do you have a thing on your screen that says like you need a new chair? I know you got money." I'm like, I don't have money. You kidding me? I'm an editor. I don't make money. You should know. Well, so you got a crazy deal with him. But I was like, yeah, I got to show you my chair, and I lifted up my chair, and I will show you again because this is a visual podcast as well too. Shout out to the 200 people who watch our podcast. The bottom of my chair is if you can take it on screen, it's fucking shredded. You see this? When I wear shorts or when I'm just chilling, this thing cuts right into my legs. Leather sucks.
You don't have a cat or anything, do you?
No, I just have thick thighs of dangerous nature.
Well, we have an episode title.
I do have a cat, but my cat doesn't go anywhere near my office because I'm like deathly allergic to cats. Figure that one out. But yeah.
So not having a good day, Endo Mills, because his chair is trying to kill him.
Yeah, I also got my money from that stream that I did the other day with what's it called? What did the lovely people raid? It was delayed, and then it came in today. So I'm gonna go probably buy a new chair or buy a new microphone and give you this one because you'll love it.
Get a chair that won't kill you.
You'll love it.
Just words to live by for life. I suppose.
I think I spent $150 on this chair, and it definitely, you can tell why, because I've had it for 2 years, and yeah, it's not good.
It might so gaming or office chairs might be the biggest racket in the world today.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, and it's why every time, for those of you who pay attention to the EA NHL Twitter scene, anytime someone posts a thing about a chair, it'll instantly be Nasher or Nose Sleeves being like, bro, you got to spend $1,000 on this Herman Miller. It'll change your life.
you gotta get this chair.
It's like, I don't
you gotta
doubt
get this chair.
Motherfucker, it's like $1,000 chair. Fuck.
Doesn't he use a secret lab or something? I mean, these guys are...
I don't even know.
They make like decent money from streaming and all that stuff, right? So they have the luxury of doing that. I don't. I
Bruh,
don't.
just miss a few apartment payments and get a Herman Miller for
Hey, listen.
$1,400. The one I'm looking at on their site right now. Holy fuck.
1,400. You know what the best part?
Dude,
The
if
best
I
part.
spend $1,400 on a chair, it better blow me on command. $1,400 for a fucking chair.
Oh man. Yeah,
Jeez.
if you're gonna get blown by your chair, make sure you clean up using Manscaped, our lovely sponsors for this podcast. Shout out to you guys. We didn't mention you guys for a little longer than we usually do, but the one-stop shop for all your grooming needs. You know, you gotta when you clean up with the lawnmower, you gotta clean up there with the crop preserver. This thing is my nut bread and nut butter. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
That won't be the episode title.
Bread and nut butter.
Oh my god. But yeah,
bread like
Manscaped.
BRED instead of bread.
Fucking Christ. Our lovely friends at Manscaped, everybody, you know the deal. Lawnmower 4.0, the Beard Hedger, of course, the Beard Hedger Pro Kit's still available, and so much more from our friends at Manscaped. You can use code Tougie, that's TOUGIE at checkout for 20% off your order and free shipping. Beautiful from our friends at Manscaped.
I actually ran out of spherical deodorant. It is as spherical as it's ever been. Like, you know, when you just finish a deodorant, it's just kind of a little bit left around. You're trying to ration it before you have to spend some more. So it's literally just like a dome. It's like amazing.
There you go. So shout out. I have not run out of mine. This thing it's as good as gold. It's as good as the gold on the packaging.
There you go.
Manscaped.com. With that, we have a couple of extra questions, of course, from some of our lovely listeners and or viewers over on my Discord. The link is in the description. Whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on your audio platform of choice, you get your questions in like these fine people did from Scroopy Noopers. I don't know if we had this question before. I think we did. But hey, whatever. Why not? Do you find it hard to enjoy art, whether it be music, movies, TV, etc.? Or do you find it hard to enjoy art from people who have done or been accused of doing terrible things? Or are you able to separate art from the artist? Your reaction's interesting, Endo. What's up?
He made graduation.
Yeah.
He made graduation. Every time I see that, I was live. I was on stream and I saw that question. I'm like, he made graduation, and everyone just jumps to that. But Jesus Christ,
yeah. Well, that's
like, he's so innovative as an artist, and he changed the landscape and all that. That like Kanye, musician, second to none. The person, questionable, very questionable.
Yeah. So okay, so he was someone I was going to mention, right? You know, along the lines like you have. Okay, so like for me as a wrestling fan, right? The ultimate of this question is Chris Benoit, right? And it has been for 15 fucking years now, over 15 years, as insane as that is, which I'm sure people know. For those who do not, was a top professional wrestler who murdered his young son and wife and then killed himself. The line since then has been, as it kind of is with everybody, if you think about it, not to get like super deep about the topic, but if you have someone who kills someone else, there is that line mentally where it's like, well, the sickness of it versus like no right person in their mind does this versus how much did they know. That's prevalent everywhere.
Yeah.
In his particular case, it was, like Chris Nowinski and, the leading people for the CTE, research and everything. Yeah, they looked at his brain and it's like, this isn't a 38-year-old man. This is a 70-year-old Alzheimer's patient. So that's always been the debate with him, has been like, okay, look, facts are facts. He did this fucking horrific thing.
Oh yeah.
But there's always that conversation that'll go on in perpetuity in terms of like, how much, how at the helm was he in regards to that. On the other side of things, and for me, it's I can't really watch his matches at this point. It's difficult. On a less extreme end of the spectrum, you have, in terms of the didn't hurt anybody physically side of the argument is Kanye with some, horrific anti-Semitic comments, obviously, and it's weird, right? Because Spotify wise, you can have songs in a playlist and never listen to them for the longest time, and it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But the second something like this happens where you're just like, man, I don't want to listen to that guy anymore, all of a sudden it's a big deal to remove those songs from a playlist because it feels like you're, losing something in a sense.
Yeah.
But man, that's his fucking fault. And I guess there is that line too of, the mental health debate and how fucking, in control at the wheel are you? But yeah, I don't listen to Kanye anymore. I don't listen to Marilyn Manson anymore. Because it is very difficult, at least for me, to be able to hear a Kanye song and not think about him essentially going full fucking Jewish space lasers, like that fucking nut job in U.S. Congress. So, yeah, I have a very difficult time with it.
Which nut job in U.S. Congress?
Yeah, that's the. There's a lot of them. That was in particular. That was one Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh,
yeah,
run MJT.
I actually think she's in the House of Representatives, not Congress, but same fucking thing. An elected official who dropped the.
Dude. What, like, U.S. I know we're trying to get political and stuff like this on this podcast, but like, even though we've talked about so many different things, I will say one thing as an outsider watching U.S. politics and all this stuff happening, it's absolutely crazy. But Nancy Pelosi on the interview, good morning, Sunday morning. That killed me, dog. That killed me.
God.
Hey, I mean, to your defense, our fucking prime minister openly did blackface and got reelected twice. At what point do we call Justin Trudeau a brother? At what point? I know you can't. You have no say. I'm just saying a hypothetical. Because they let him go. He even got the he even got fucking Jagmeet Singh to like be like, yeah, I support him. It's like, brother, Jagmeet. But like together they're gonna bring us dental care. So who knows how that far it's gonna go? We're gonna get dental care. I'll be able to fix my front two teeth from hockey. Jesus.
Justin Trudeau, invited or not invited to the cookout?
Bro, he is the cookout. He shows up, he's cooked.
He's manning the grill.
He definitely is. I can definitely see him. He's like the one person who, like, like the slide, like the slide lock handshake. Everyone going through. Like,
oh God.
Justin Trudeau has a code switch. 100%. He 100% code switcher. 100%.
Fucking hell. This is what happens when Sin's away.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're just allowed to just go.
We should look at the viewership and see like the retention if Sin's there or not. So that way we can give Sin like an extended leave of absence for like 1 week because we can just shoot the shit.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, welcome to the Thursday show where it's just us two talking about Jewish space lasers and whether or not Justin Trudeau is invited to the cookout.
He knows his way around some seasoning. 100%.
So, do you have trouble separating art from artist?
So far, no. I have not having trouble. It's kind of like with athletes as well too. I mean, some athletes do very, very shitty things and they're still regarded for certain things. I mean, look at the entirety of the National Football League. There are so many cases where it's like people getting free passes because they're talented at a skill or a popularity level. That's what it is. We've had celebrities openly, commit murder. Maybe it's not even like to their fault, or it was to their fault, and getting a free pass because they have status.
Yeah.
Cloud is king.
Would have been a good episode title, but I don't think it tops Thick Thighs of Dangerous Nature.
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, aren't all thick thighs of a dangerous nature?
I don't know, man.
Fair enough.
Not the thighs that I've seen. Oh boy. Oh
Fair.
boy.
Fair enough. God damn. Fair enough. Yeah. Razor Sharp had our other question. That can kind of bring us into one of our general topics. Thoughts on the Atlanta-Houston expansion tweet that went around over the weekend. So, how to best describe this? Essentially, there was fuel added to the fire from the likes of John Buccigross and Kevin Weeks, essentially hinting towards Atlanta might be coming back. And then Houston was added to the conversation. Andy Strickland put out this tweet today. League source on the rumors about Atlanta and Houston expansion. They are two cities that have expressed interest, but neither of these two are ahead of anyone else, and nothing is happening soon, if at all. They went on to say, not sure these two cities are even at the top of our list. So, in terms of why this kind of came to the forefront, who the hell knows whether or not people actually heard something like Kevin Weeks or anybody else, if they did actually legitimately hear something. Yeah, it was like just a random account of @NHL to Houston on Twitter who, yeah, it's literally like it's a fan account. It is literally a fan account dedicated to help bring NHL to Houston, which is not proper English. But it does tout the fact that it was followed by Kevin Weeks. And hey, you know what? I think they have more followers than I do by like 20. So good for them. They're crushing it. And yeah, they kind of got the hockey world to start talking about expansion again. I'll say this about it. Like, they are two cities that make sense. Like, we have talked about this a lot in terms of potential expansion. And yeah, Houston and Atlanta make the most sense right now for teams that do not, or for cities that do not have a team. Houston is the fourth largest city in the U.S. by population, and Atlanta is, I don't believe they're all that far behind. Actually struggling to find Atlanta. Where is Atlanta at this point on this particular list? But Atlanta's obviously a fucking gigantic metropolitan area. Apparently they're 38th right now in terms of population, but obviously like the larger area is fucking gigantic. Yeah, Houston's gonna get a team eventually, I'm sure, and Atlanta will probably get a team again too, because despite what people say in terms of trying to dunk on the Thrashers, the bottom line is the Atlanta Thrashers started off with decent ownership. So when they were founded, it was the same ownership group that had the Atlanta Hawks. It was Time Warner. So Time Warner, acquired the Atlanta Hawks through a merger with Turner and Ted Turner and all that deal. And then, of course, same ownership group. They have the building. Let's bring in a hockey team. Within a couple of years, though, they sold that both teams to a larger group. I think it was like Atlanta Spirits LLC. And essentially, the people in charge of running both the Hawks and the Thrashers at that point were so brutally incompetent, it's not even funny. Towards the end of the early 2000s, like the Hawks were making the playoffs here and there, but really weren't able to do much. And of course, the Thrashers were a tire fire who made the playoffs once and got swept, if I'm not mistaken. So essentially, last time the Thrashers were here, the ownership was brutal. it's kind of similar to the Coyotes in a sense of like, if you actually get like the proper stability around that team, it's almost impossible for it to fail. The problem is they just didn't have the stability last time. Endo, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, but yeah, I needed to defend Atlanta's honor and kind of mention that, yeah, I mean, these rumors are just kind of out of nowhere, bogus Twitter nonsense.
Yeah, I think the possibility of Atlanta getting a team would be crazy. Getting a team back. Would it be the Thrashers directly? Like, are they supporting the Atlanta Gladiators?
I'm not sure. I do know that ownership group kept the rights to the Thrashers name,
Right.
which I'm pretty sure is why you do not see anything Atlanta Thrashers in modern EA titles, because unlike going through other outlets, like they have to go directly through this fucking ownership group that I don't even think it properly exists anymore. Like I don't know who has the rights to that, but I'm pretty sure that is the reason.
Right.
Yeah, they don't even exist anymore. This ownership group went defunct in 2015. So I'm sure somebody, I don't know who held on to the assets for like the naming rights for the Atlanta Thrashers. Somebody has it,
Yeah.
but who the hell knows?
Yeah, but Houston getting a team would be nice because I like the Houston Arrows, like design for their stuff. There's someone actually in one of the beer leagues that I play in who has like the set design kind of with that Arrows aesthetic. He has like all brown pads, like all leather vintage pads kind of design. And then he has his helmet is like the fucker, what's the fucking plane called? But like that's on the front. I can't remember. But like you know what I'm
For the
talking
Houston
about.
Arrows?
Yeah. He has like
I don't know.
that logo design on his helmet. And it's pretty clean.
It's like isn't it like a B-52 bomber or something like that?
Yeah.
On the front of it. I don't know. I don't
It's a
remember.
B-52 bomber and it has like the I don't know how to describe it. I described it when I was younger as like a shark head kind of design with the mouth and you know what I'm talking about. Just
I
the
do.
logo.
I do. I know the logo.
Yeah. On this helmet, it looks pretty sick, and I would definitely want to see them come back, and I would want to see what design they're gonna have for jerseys, and if they bring back hypothetically the Thrashers.
Bring back the Thrashers. Aside from that, Endo, we only have a few things to talk about. We knew it would be a shorter show today, but hey, you know, I think we delivered through the viewer questions. We didn't do an awards update, obviously, because our first show of the month was the trade deadline special. At the same time, I don't really think there's too much debate for like the big awards at this stage, right? So, Hart Trophy for League MVP. You could even do the Ted Lindsay Award for Most Outstanding Player. It's Connor McDavid. The guy has 52 goals and 70 assists for 122 points in 64 games. He still has 18 games to go this season. He is the first player with multiple 120 point seasons in the cap era. So post 05 lockout, he is the first player to have multiple 120 point seasons. Do you think, we talked about this last year and he fell a little bit short. Do you think, knowing that he has 18 games left, he's on 122 points, does he hit 150?
Yep. Guaranteed. I
hope he does. It would be kind of surprising if he didn't. I mean, he needs, God, what is the math on this? I mean, he needs 28 points in 18 games. Yeah, he's going to hit 150. You're right. That's a slam dunk. Ah, damn. Yeah, I'm just looking at his 5 most recent games, too. He is just, I mean, it's Connor McDavid. He's gross. He's absolutely gross. For the Norris, mainly because it's based off of points, it's likely Erik Karlsson, who has 80 points this season as a defender. The next highest, you have Josh Morrissey on 66, Rasmus Dahlin on 63, Dougie Hamilton on 61, and then Quinn Hughes on 59. And I wanted to bring up Quinn Hughes. He became the fastest defenseman in NHL history to reach 200 career assists. He did it in 263 games. Impressive, given that the team he is on is a tire fire. Trade him to New Jersey. Please, trade him to New Jersey. Let's see it happen. But yeah, Erik Karlsson. He's winning the Norris. I mean, again, they always go off of points. Otherwise, Siegenthaler would have won the fucking Norris last year, and he would have been deserving. Vezina. It's Linus Allmark. He is 32, 4-1 with a 938 save percentage and a 189 goals against average. Allmark is winning the Vezina. The Calder. Go ahead.
That's a clear. That's no contest. Like you at the NHL, and if he stopped playing for the rest of the season, he's still a lock for the Calder. Not Calder, for the Vezina.
He should be, at the very least. Yeah, he should be. For the Calder, Matty Beniers leading the way. He's got 45 points in 61 games. Next closest to him in terms of scoring is Mason McTavish with 37 points. And then goalie-wise, you could throw out Logan Thompson, but he is currently injured. He has a 914 save percentage with a 20-13-3 record. It's probably going to Matty Beniers, especially if Seattle makes the playoffs. And then Coach of the Year and GM of the Year. How is it not Jim Montgomery and Don Sweeney for Boston? And look,
Homer.
I've given Don Sweeney a lot of shit, but
I see that top row behind you, Homer, all fucking Bruins jerseys above everyone else. Look at you.
It's true.
Fucking superiority complex, motherfucker. Is that why you did it? Is that why you did it? God, motherfucker. I was joking.
Well, no. But, I mean, it really does. Like, who else can... I guess you could throw, like, oh, maybe New Jersey deserves some shout, but I mean, the Boston Bruins are a record-setting team already, and I gave Don Sweeney a lot of shit. But he brought back David Krejci. He re-signed David Pasternak. He has acquired Bobby Orloff, Tyler Bertuzzi. I mean, like, it's Don Sweeney. It is.
Yeah.
I have to eat crow and admit that Don Sweeney is the man, because he is. He has been. He forever will be.
The only Donald you can trust.
Well done. Well,
this is why I'm here. Honestly, you and Sin just go off. I say three things about the Leafs, and I say a stupid joke, and everyone's like, yeah. Diversity hire, yeah.
Oh, God. It's just...
Yeah, I don't know anyone else who can make a better argument there. Maybe the Devils picking up Meyer for losing absolutely basically nothing in return.
Are you ready for the Devils, man? You ready for the Devils?
No mercy, no mercy.
Oh,
I spit fire on the Hurricanes.
That might be my favorite EA NHL meme song from more recent soundtracks. Oh my God.
That was like my biggest like social media post ever, was making fun of them about the soundtrack. It's like, are you finally done asking if I'm ready for the Devil Man? And it was like 8,000 likes on their fucking Instagram page or whatever. And everyone's like, holy shit, like that, you got him. You win the internet.
Hey, winning the internet is serious, important business, okay?
Yeah.
It is, clearly.
Where's my award? God damn.
Yeah. So award-wise, not much to talk about. Leafs-wise, you, sir, are not allowed to have nice things. Are you?
No.
No, you're not. The Toronto Maple Leafs have lost Ryan O'Reilly indefinitely. Pretty much he'll be back for the start of the playoffs. He's not going to let this injury stop him. But yeah, Ryan O'Reilly is out with a broken finger. He played. Wow, he got 8 games in there. 8 games, 5 points. And now he's hurt.
You know what this reminds me of?
I'm intrigued.
Nick Foligno.
Oh.
Yeah. He's yours now.
He is. He's also hurt right now.
It's the brotherhood of traveling player ailments.
Oh, God. I just looked at the Leafs depth chart on Cap Friendly. Now, keep in mind, John Tavares is listed as day-to-day with an illness, so he's not in there. Top line right now, I don't know, again, who knows if this is actually how it will go. Kerfoot, Matthews, Marner.
Yeah.
Yarncroke, Lafferty, Nylander. Aston Reese, David Kampf, Nolachari, Michael Bunting, Pontus Holmberg. Okay, that can't be right, but what in the fucking franchise mode hell is this? That's a freaking season 6 franchise mode lineup is what that is.
No, that's season 1. Once you just let the team do its own thing. That's Milbury mode right there, 100%.
Yeah.
Milbury mode, no trades, no points. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. It's just I think they're just trying to change up everything after, losing to the Oilers in dramatic fashion, 5-2, and then getting their breaks beaten out of them by the Vancouver Canucks. I mean, historically, they've been they're 16-2. No, they're 2-16 since going to that building. Since they renamed GM Place, Rogers Place, or whatever the fuck. 2-16.
Did you see the points? Did you see the fight video?
Oh, the fighting outside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
it's beautiful, isn't it?
The most scumbag part of it though is that there's a dude. I'm not sure what allegiance he pledges his stupidity to, but he sees the dude's phone pop out of his pocket and he steps on the phone and drags it back. What a fucking scumbag! To break the screen of the phone. That's fucking no. That's stupid shit. That's like how do I explain it? That's like walking down the street in the middle of a fight, getting a sucker punch in and walking away. Because he had no part of it whatsoever. He just saw the phone was on the floor, put his foot on it, scraped it back down to crack the screen. Like, if you're gonna do that, at least get into the actual fight.
I mean, I enjoy watching stupid people do stupid things, unless they hold political office.
We elect them. Oh boy.
Oh, we do. If there's one good news, a bit of good news for the Leafs, though, it's that the team they are going to play in the first round, the Tampa Bay Lightning, are also going through their own weird shit. So the other day in Buffalo, in the third period, John Cooper benched Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov, and Braden Point because they weren't playing at a high level. And then they went on to get absolutely schmacked by Carolina 6-0 last night, including being held without a shot in the second period. They are the first team this season to be held to no shots in a period. So yeah, 5 losses in a row for the Lightning. The Leafs might lose Ryan O'Reilly, but at least Tampa looks like they might be completely out of steam right now. So you got that going for you.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going to crawl back. Like, every team right around this time that are cup contenders, they go through a lot of patches. Especially fucking Toronto, because it's usually February, March. We suck. Whether it's goaltending or just team play entirely, it's just going through. I'm not the guys like this is our year, but they're a strong team.
You're not a card carrying member of Buds All Day? Do people still put that on t-shirts there? It was it's a great catchphrase. Come on.
That's the name of a fucking dispensary. It's gonna pop up like 2 blocks from the fucking arena. There are so many I'm just complete tangent. We're talking about buds. There are so many dispensaries in Toronto now. Like, I live where I grew up, my neighborhood, and I went back to look, and there used to be like a fucking Tim Hortons here dispensary. This used to be a Starbucks dispensary. This used to be where I grew up and went for lunch every day for school. Sex shop. It's like, what's going on? Oh, he thought it was a dispensary. It used to be a dispensary, but now it's a sex shop.
So that's the next
best of both worlds.
Funny thing, I live in the middle of nowhere in Maine, and it's all there are 3 dispensaries within a 5-minute drive of me. 3.
As we
It's
discovered one night on GeoGuessr. Oh man, that was funny.
yeah. We
Yeah.
we I didn't stream one night, and we were playing NHL, I think. And we went on GeoGuessr waiting for a game, and it put me 10 minutes away from my house. Normally when we play GeoGuessr on stream, we're somewhere in the fucking middle of Mumbai.
Yeah.
But playing off stream, once it put me 2 minutes outside the hospital I was born in. And then this time, like, if I play GeoGuessr offline, it's like, hey, here's all the fun ones. But hey, at least I didn't have to be like, I have no idea where this is. What are you talking about? So that was fun.
This is like the 3rd time where it's been like, oh shit, I know where this, because you said the hospital, that, and then the random what was it? The random church. I was like, yeah, I know exactly where that is. You're like, no, you don't. I'm like, this street right here. And you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It was like 2 minutes from the hockey arena I just left to go play with you guys and play FIFA with.
Endo, our last thing to talk about. We knew it would be a shorter show. Shout out to ESPN and Stephen A. Smith and ESPN's First Take when they asked the question on the panel of what New York team will be the next team to win a championship, and their guest said the New York Rangers, and they laughed at him, saying the Rangers don't count. ESPN, by the way, who own the broadcasting rights to the NHL in the United States. But hey, it's always good, right? You want to properly support the your own product and not completely shit on it with your most popular personality on the network. That's all we have to talk about post-trade deadline. Until the playoffs, it's this. It's Stephen A. Smith not giving a fuck about hockey. It's the Leafs not being allowed to have anything fun. And Justin Trudeau. That's all we have for the next, month until the playoffs start. It's terrible. I hate it here.
Well, yeah. To quote Stephen A. Smith and his face, he talks sound like this all the time. The 2 things I know about hockey: the puck is black, and I love my buddy Gary Bettman.
Oh God. Oh man. Damn it.
Speaking of black, and I will say this, I talked about this earlier with Tougie. He's hands off on this.
The floor is yours.
This was something that happened last week. That I think it happened the day before we did our conversation about the trade deadline and everything. I wanted to squeeze in and talk about it because it was crazy. It was something ridiculous. Akim Aliu and the Hockey Diversity Alliance wanted to develop and start up a hockey club in the GTHL, the Greater Toronto Hockey League, which is arguably the biggest hockey league, minor hockey league in Canada, North America, probably the world. They wanted to do something to include Black, Indigenous youth to give them a spot to play because that league is notorious for certain things happening involving racial remarks and stuff happening to the students and players and all that. So give them a team called the Toronto Dream, and it was going to be a single, double, and AAA development team. That way people could, have a space to play. Within hearing that, one person said that it is unfair for them to have this team and referred to Asian people as Orientals, which is like, wow. In the year of our Lord, in the hour of our Lord, 2023. That's crazy. And then another one went so far as to have a certain statement. Hold on, let me read this GTHL statement here because it is crazy. It was the equivalency of an anti-black statement from one of the GMs of the teams. Quote from Akim Aliu. I've been told that during last night's GTHL meeting to discuss our proposal about diversity and accessibility in hockey, a GM made horrific anti-black statements. The GTHL must be transparent about exactly what was said. This is what we're up against. Disturbing, not surprising. GTHL then put a statement out. I can't find it because they've smashed it through everything else because, the damage control. On March 2nd, 2023, the Greater Toronto Hockey League had its semi-annual members forum with all organizations and members. During the meeting, a representative of one of the organizations made certain comments that were considered inappropriate in the meeting. They were saying it was inappropriate. No one has said what the word was, which means that it must have been very bad. Another thing about that, too, the individual has been indefinitely suspended pending a hearing, which means that he will get his job back. Probably.
Yeah.
But the fact that, instantly everyone was like, yeah, no, that's not going to cut it. It's bad.
Yeah. It's, you were kind of mentioning earlier, how players can get away with shit. A lot of people can get away with shit they probably shouldn't get away with.
Yep.
Only be suspended is it's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah. Another thing too is the GTHL is listed as a nonprofit, and I can tell you for certain there are people there who are getting paid 6 figures to coach. 6 figures to coach hockey, which is insane. People are wondering why prices for hockeys are going up insensively. That's the reason why. Because you'll have guys coach one team, then they'll coach 2 teams, and they'll coach 3 teams, and then you pull that money together, you're making 6 figures. That's crazy. To coach minor hockey, your little 10, 12, 14-year-old kid? Yeah.
It's just sad.
It's crazy. Why the fuck am I editing? I should just go continue to get my coaching license and just go fuck off and make 6 figures coaching hockey.
Yeah. If if you're okay with hearing what some people have to say in meetings, apparently.
I mean, at this point, what haven't I heard? Right? That's another issue.
Fair.
That's what haven't I heard? I've been a content creator on the internet. I do this podcast, which is lovely with you guys, I've had experience with fucking everything. I play hockey myself. I've heard some crazy things, so I guess I might as well just go grab a coach's whistle and just learn how to coach and try to deal with that bullshit.
All you got to do is say pucks in deep, and the most important thing is your yas, us, and your knows per 60. If you can get that at a high rate, you're going to be good to go.
It's a fair point.
Yeah. With that, everybody, we'll bring to a close the most weird edition of this podcast ever.
Yeah.
But
this was weird.
I had fun. Because of Sin and I's break, it's okay, we had the trade deadline show, but for the most part, okay, this is practically preseason before the playoffs, right? We gotta get back into it and kind of see what's gonna happen now moving forward once the postseason begins, and hopefully things go well.
Yeah.
Hopefully in a few months' time, we're all warmed up talking about the playoffs every show. Boston Bruins gonna win the Stanley Cup. I'm definitely not biased based off the jerseys behind me. Not at all. Endo, what do you have going on?
I'm gonna do a franchise thing. I've decided to actually dip in the franchise. I hate cap management because I'm a filthy Leaf fan and I don't want to have to deal with the stress like Kyle Dubas does. So I'm doing a brand new series, hopefully. I've tried to do so many different things to start up and it's never really gone through because I have such a big galaxy brain and I can't, I struggle with the small little things. You know what I'm talking about. And
big brain.
What I've decided is I'm going to grab a KHL team. I'm going to bring them over to the NHL, have them be an expansion franchise. And then we're just going to fucking go for it. We're just going to do everything in my power to make this team like the best out of nowhere. We're not gonna like load them up on like we're gonna do it like sneakily. Like I'll just randomly just give like I don't know Austin Matthews $16 million for 1 year. It's all right. I'll just draft all the Russian prospects if they still generate them in NHL. I'm not really sure anymore. I'll just bring them on my team. I'll just I'll just do that a little bit. I can't even put my national anthem at the Russian national anthem. Did you know that with the on ice graphics thing? You can't even put Russia there. That's not cool. Come on.
Well, hey, I think there's knowing the online community for this game, I think there's a very good reason for that.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yep.
Well, what you could do, what other games have done is, say that offline actions are independent from online actions. Give us creativity. Let us do certain things. Let me put my player number on my jersey and not have it be stuck to one jersey out of all the hundreds that you have in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for coming to my my TED Talk.
There you go. Yeah, for me, playing a lot of college football revamped because that game's fucking fun. And I got fired once, and I hopefully won't get fired again. But I do
oh my god, you getting fired was like Mo throwing out Barney out of the bar.
It was too.
He's smacking the bar.
Oh god.
Oh, it's like you forged your birth certificate and like it's like the IM14 thing.
But having a lot of fun with that so far. NHL franchise stuff coming up very, very soon. Just kind of finalizing some details. It's going to be an interesting one, is what I can tell people. And then MLB comes out in like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, the 24th. If you pre-ordered, you get like 4 days early access. So, obviously, as a Stremmer, I am going to pre-order and not wait for Game Pass because I gotta be there at the forefront.
Hold on, before you pre-order though, there is a special pack that you can get that lets you play it via Game Pass, but pre-order. Like it's like $10 or something like that, and it lets you play the game early with Game Pass.
Well, we'll have to look into that now, won't we? But yeah, a lot of good stuff coming up this month. And of course, as mentioned, Sin should be back later on this week. At least we hope.
Yeah. Sin, what are you doing? Oh, I'm flying right now. I'm on a plane. Just chilling.
Yeah, right? Live from 38,000 feet. It's Sin for the win.
Live on Fin Air, it's Sin. How you doing? Everything's fucking shaking, dude. What the fuck? Just like we're just chilling right now, and he's just having a fucking panic attack, and he's hitting all the turbulence.
Oh god! We'll see you later on this week, everyone. When Sin hopefully brings some stability back to the show.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that TikTok meme where it's like oh god, it was what's her name? Nicki Minaj, and the other song is like it's like, it's him like flying the fucking plane. And we're just like chilling and spinning in a chair. Have a good one, everybody.